Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is David Burnt. I am currently the secretary of this lodge and the district instructor of Masonic District number 108. I had the honor of serving as your master of ceremonies this evening. On behalf of the officers and members of Sugarland Lodge, I would like to welcome each of you to our annual Community Awards Night. We are honored to have guests, families, and friends with us this evening as we take a moment to step away from our labors and focus on the very heart of what we believe in: service, character, and the future of our community. Tonight is a celebration of excellence. Freemasonry has long been dedicated to the idea of building, not just the building of lasting stone edifices, but building the lasting character of individuals and strengthening the bonds of the society in which we live. The individuals we are honoring tonight embody those ideals in their daily lives. We have a wonderful program ahead of us. We will be presenting the Community Builder Award to an individual whose tireless efforts have made a lasting impact on our local area. We will also recognize two outstanding young people with the Honesty and Integrity Awards, celebrating the moral foundation they have established early in their lives. Finally, it is our distinct privilege to support the academic journeys of two deserving students through the Lawrence E. Elkins Memorial Scholarships, continuing a legacy of educational support that we hold very dear. It is a privilege to share this evening with you all. Before we proceed with our awards, let us properly begin our program by seeking a blessing on our time together. At this time, I would ask that everyone please rise as you are able. Past Master Tunnel, please lead our invocation.
Everybody bow their heads, please. Great architect of the universe, we gather this evening to celebrate the virtues of service, integrity, and wisdom. We ask for your presence as we recognize those in our community who have built foundations of hope and progress. Bless the young leaders among us, the juniors who have walked with honesty, and the seniors who embark on new journeys of learning. May this ceremony inspire us all to labor with purpose and to build a better world for the generations to follow. Amen.
So let it be. Please remain standing and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States and Texas flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Knew there'd be more of them.
We're actually starting
Well, it looks
legislation.
like we can start the meeting.
I'd like to turn the program over to our senior warden, Brother Thad Olive, who will present the Community Builder Award.
Well, good evening, everybody. We've got a wonderful crowd, and I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming here and making this night special, as it should be. The Community Builder Award is something that the Masonic Lodge puts on, and it's not for Masonry in itself. It's for somebody that comes from our community who does little things, or maybe even sometimes the big things, that make life for others around them special. These are the people that come out each and every day and they make these small little sacrifices or big sacrifices, whatever it may be. And most of the time it goes unnoticed. But each and every one of these sacrifices and the time and effort they put into, it makes a difference in our world. It makes a difference in our communities individually, and it just makes a difference in each one of our own lives. I don't think we do this enough as a society. I believe that everybody in this room, we all probably do this to some level, but some of them do it just a little bit more than others, right? So I had the honor to choose this year's community builder for our lodge, and I tell you what, it's something that I take very serious, and it's something I put a lot of thought behind, and then we get to talking about it, and usually at the end of the day, I think we come up with a pretty good candidate. So today I want to talk to you just a little bit about our candidate. She's sitting in this room over here. I'm gonna make her blush. I know I am. Leslie Woods. Who is Leslie Woods? Well, I can tell you who she is to me, personally. And then I'm gonna tell you a little bit about who she is to the community as well and the things that she's done for each and every one of us. Back in the early 90s, well, actually, let's even back up before that. I'm gonna back it up to probably when she was born and some of the raising that she had. Even though this is a non-Masonic type of an award, Leslie has some Masonry in her family. Her father was actually a 75-year Mason from the Bel Air Lodge, and who we just lost here recently. But a very good man, somebody that really truly contributed to the craft. And I believe he instilled a lot of those principles and virtues that Masonry holds dear to her, and it's proven throughout the life that she's lived. So now we'll get in a little bit about her. Back in the early 90s, I guess she got wrangled up with somebody that offered her a position on the board of Fort Bend County Crime Stoppers. For those of y'all that may or may not know about Crime Stoppers, it's an organization that started back in 1976 as a result of a murder in a New Mexico town, I believe it was, at a college. And the detectives had basically nothing to go with. So they started a little campaign, and then they actually put it out on the air, saying that, hey, if anybody can give us some tips on this, you can do it anonymously. We won't tell anybody who it was, and we'll even offer an award for it. Well, within 4 days of this posting, they had suspects on the table, and they actually had somebody in custody and put them in jail. And it just kind of spurred off since then. Crime Stoppers nationwide now has over 500 different chapters, and I'm proud to say that Fort Bend County is one of those. Leslie stepped into this role as a board member back in the early 90s, like we said, and I believe it was about 1994 or so, and y'all do the math on that. She got the honor of being the chairperson or the president of that organization, and she has held that role all the way up until this year, where she gracefully handed off to me personally. That is a tremendous amount of time to be involved in an organization just all by itself, but to run and lead that organization into the success that it is today is phenomenal. And Leslie, I don't even know where to begin on that. I mean, that, you start talking about dedication, good grief. Good grief. And anyhow, moving forward a little bit, she's also involved in a whole lot of other things, and these are the little things that kind of build up. She is also part of a large part of this group as well, of the Sugar Land Exchange Club. And Leslie, you've been involved with the Sugar Land Exchange Club for how long now?
32 years.
32 years, so just a little bit less than what she was involved in Fort Bend County Crime Stoppers. Leslie is one of those persons in our organization of the Sugar Land Exchange that does all the little things behind the scenes that really nobody knows about, but if she didn't do it, the whole thing would probably unravel at the seams. Or a lot of people be scratching their head wondering why things ain't getting done. I first saw this about, I guess 7 or 8 years ago when I got involved with Exchange, and I didn't know who Leslie was, but I got introduced to her by, where's Paul at? There he is over there. I don't know if you knew that, but you actually introduced her to me. And I knew at that moment right there that she was a special lady. If Paul pays attention to her, she's pretty special. So if Paul talks to you, y'all feel pretty grateful for that. There you go. Anyway, come to find out, we've got a lot of the same friends, a lot of the same circles, and that just how life does in small circles, right? It starts interconnecting folks. And it just puts people in the right places at the right time, and it put me in the right place at the right time to recognize the significance that Leslie holds in our community and the little things that she does that makes it so great. So with that being said, and so I don't get too long-winded and start crying or something like that, Leslie, would you please come up here? Leslie, on behalf of Sugar Land Masonic Lodge, number 1141, and on behalf of some of the members here from the Fort Bend County Crime Stoppers organization, I'd like to present you with this award. All right, and it says Community Builder Award presented to Leslie Woods in recognition of her distinguished service and personal contributions to the community of Sugar Land, Texas. All right, presented by Sugar Land Lodge number 1141 AF and AM, Sugar Land, Texas, given this 13th day of May of 2026. Leslie, thank you for everything you do. And
Good evening, everyone. I want to start by expressing my deepest gratitude to the members of Sugar Land Masonic Lodge number 1141 for this incredible honor. To be recognized with the Community Builder Award is truly humbling, especially when I look around this room and see so many others who dedicate their own time and energy to making our community a better place. This recognition carries a very personal weight for me. My father was a Master Mason in the Bel Air Masonic Lodge where he served for 75 years. Though he passed away just a few months ago, I know he'd be incredibly proud to see me standing here tonight. One of the greatest lessons he instilled in his children was simple but firm. You weren't allowed to whine or grumble about anything that you weren't willing to do something about. He taught us that if you see a problem, you have the responsibility to be a part of that solution. That lesson stayed with me when I moved to Sugar Land with my daughter Lauren. At the time, I was honestly quite scared living in a new place, a new neighborhood as a single parent. To overcome that fear, I turned to my father's advice and got involved. That journey began with Fort Bend Crime Stoppers. Serving on that board led me to the Sugar Land Exchange Club, which in turn introduced me to the YMCA, and the ripples continued from there. What started to find my footing became a way to find my purpose. Being around like-minded people brings a whole new highlight to community service. We are lucky to live in Fort Bend County where charities just don't exist side by side. They actively support one another. Community service is more than just work. It's a passion that fuels the soul. Along this path, I've been blessed to find lifelong friends who share that same motivation. My father always said that in life you want to be a giver, not a taker. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to give back to the community, and thank you again to the Lodge for this deeply meaningful honor. Thank
Awesome.
I'd now like to call on our senior deacon, Brother Adrian Mask, who will present our Honesty and Integrity Awards.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adrian Mask, and I serve as the senior deacon of Sugar Land Lodge number 1141. On behalf of our officers and members, we are thrilled to present 2 Honesty and Integrity Awards this evening to 2 remarkable high school juniors. Will Sophia Nady and Micah Milwee please join me up here, please? As Freemasons, we dedicate ourselves to the pursuit of moral character. We use the traditional tools of stonemasons, like the square and the plumb, as symbols to remind us to build our lives with truth, fairness, and uprightness. We believe that a community is only as strong as the character of the people within it. If you look closely at this award, you will see that it is engraved with a key. A key is a powerful symbol. It represents trust, responsibility, and the unlocking of potential. A person given a key is someone who has proven themselves reliable. In life, honesty, integrity are the ultimate keys. They open doors to lasting relationships, they unlock the potential for true leadership, and they grant access to the deepest trust of our peers. Tonight, we honor 2 students from Travis High School who hold these keys. Our first recipient is Sophia Nady. True integrity means holding fast to your values, especially when it isn't the popular thing to do. The staff at Travis High School have noted that Sophia is steadfastly honest with herself and others about what is right, maintaining her high moral character regardless of the environment around her, even when her peers do not. That takes an immense courage and profound integrity. Furthermore, as a leader on the debate team, Sophia seeks out the truth of current events to cultivate a deeply compassionate worldview. She takes an honest look at the world and acts on her principles, reaching out through a program to connect with peers in war-torn areas. By offering them a listening ear and a friend, she proves that her values are not just words, but actions. Sophia, your unwavering integrity is the key that unlocks compassion and bridges divides across the globe. Our second recipient is Micah Milwee. Honesty is often thought of as simply telling the truth, but it's also about living a truthful, authentic life where your actions match your moral compass. Micah demonstrates this highest form of integrity by stepping up to lead an after-school club for students who often struggle with social skills. It takes deep personal integrity to notice those who are overlooked and take honest, tangible action to help them. Micah goes far above and beyond what is expected, coordinating events, securing rides, and even quietly spending his own money to ensure less fortunate students are never left out. He doesn't just talk about inclusion, he demonstrates it with integrity every single day. Micah, your honest dedication to others is the key that unlocks a sense of belonging and community for those who need it most. As Freemasons, we look to the next generation to see who will continue the vital work of building a better, kinder, and more truthful world. Looking at our two recipients tonight, we know the future is in excellent hands. On behalf of Sugarland Lodge, it is my great privilege to present you both with the Honesty and Integrity Award. May the key on this award serve as a lifelong reminder of the doors you can open when you lead with a truthful heart. Congratulations. You'll all be presented with this certificate, and it says Honesty and Integrity Award, presented to Micah Milwee and Sophia Navy in recognition of your dedication to upholding moral and social virtues while setting an example academically and socially. Presented by Sugarland Lodge number 1141, AF and AM, Sugarland, Texas, given on the 13th day of May, AD 2026, AL 6026. Signed by Worshipful Master Ochoa and attested by Brother David Byrne. Congratulations.
Well, I didn't prepare anything, but I just want to say thank you to Mr. Householder for nominating me for the award. I never noticed that, he listens to everything that I say, and he's been keeping track of all my achievements, my extracurriculars, so I'm really appreciative that you've been paying attention, and it's really nice to know that, so thank you.
I haven't planned anything either. I've known David Householder and my dad, Jacob Milwee, for my whole life. Well, awesome. And I don't really think what I'm doing should be special, but it's just something I was taught to do as an early age. So I just wanted to let everyone know that you can do the same thing. Just talk to anyone you want to, make them feel better about themselves. Another reason we are gathered here is to celebrate academic excellence, character, and the bright futures of two exceptional seniors from Elkins High School, Raina Meddy and Crichton Mitchell. Raina and Crichton, please join me up here. As we present the Lawrence E. Elkins Memorial Scholarship, it is fitting to reflect upon the deep-rooted history of the very education system that brought us to this moment. The story of public education in Texas is inseparable from the vision of the father of Texas education, Mirabeau B. Lamar. In 1838, as the second president of the Republic of Texas, Lamar stood before Congress and uttered words that remain the bedrock of our schools today. A cultivated mind is the guardian genius of democracy, and while guided and controlled by virtue, the noblest attribute of man. Lamar successfully lobbied for the first land grants to support public schools, setting aside thousands of acres in each county. What is often less discussed is the quiet, foundational role that Freemasonry played in his endeavor. Lamar himself was a Mason, as were many of the early leaders of the Republic of Texas. Fun fact, if you weren't aware, Mirabeau B. Lamar is buried in Morton Cemetery in Richmond, right next to Jane Long, who gave birth to the first Anglo child in Texas. It's 9.5 miles that direction. These leaders viewed the pursuit of knowledge not just as a civic duty, but as a moral one. In the early days of our state, before tax-supported schools were fully realized, Masonic lodges often doubled as the community schoolhouses and employed the teachers. A legacy of supporting the cultivated mind that continues through the scholarship we award tonight. This particular scholarship bears the name of a man who lived those Masonic values of service and enlightenment every day. Lawrence E. Elkins was a true servant leader. Born in Orange and raised right here, or right over there, in Missouri City, his life was defined by a steadfast commitment to his country and his community. During World War II, he served as a tail gunner in the U.S. Army Air Corps, flying 33 combat missions in Europe and earning the Distinguished Flying Cross. When he returned home, he dedicated that same bravery and focus to education. A proud Bearcat from Sam Houston State, Brother Elkins began his career as a teacher and a coach before becoming the first principal of E.A. Jones Elementary. As the third superintendent of Fort Bend ISD, Lawrence Elkins was a visionary. He navigated the district through the pivotal era of desegregation and oversaw an incredible period of growth, expanding our district from just 3,900 students to over 25,000 during his tenure. Whether through his leadership in the Rotary and Lions Club, his work with the Boy Scouts, or his life as a member and a past master of Sugar Land Masonic Lodge, he was always building a better future for Fort Bend County and Fort Bend ISD. Today, we see that same spirit of dedication in our scholarship recipients. You walk the halls of a school that bears Brother Elkins' name, and today you carry forward his legacy of excellence. Raina Meddy, your academic record and leadership reflect the very virtue and character that Lawrence Elkins championed throughout his life. You have demonstrated that a cultivated mind is indeed a powerful force for good. Crichton, your hard work and commitment to your studies embody the guardian genius Lamar spoke of. Your achievements at Elkins High School have set a standard for your peers, and we are proud to support your next chapter. In recognition of your outstanding achievements and in honor of the man who helped build the foundation of our district, it is my distinct pleasure to announce that you are each being awarded a scholarship in the amount of $6,000, which will be paid directly to your chosen universities in 2 equal payments, and I have instructions for you on them. Crichton and Raina, as you move forward in your educational journeys, carry with you the history of this great state and the servant leadership of Lawrence E. Elkins. Congratulations. The instructions for how to get us to send the money to your schools. Okay? I'm going to slip it into the folders for you after I read the certificate. The certificate reads, Lawrence E. Elkins Memorial Scholarship awarded to Raina Betty and Creighton Mitchell. Lawrence E. Elkins was the third superintendent of Fort Bend ISD following L.P. Rogers and Edward Mercer. He served as superintendent from 1974 to 1984. Before that, he was a teacher, a coach, a director of instruction, and an assistant superintendent. This award is given in honor of Lawrence Elkins' long and distinguished service to Fort Bend ISD and to Sugar Land Masonic Lodge. With this award, we recognize your dedication to your continued education and offer our best wishes to you in your future endeavors. Given this 13th day of May, AD 2026, AL 6026, under our hands and the seal of this lodge. Congratulations. Congratulations. Once again, ladies first, you can bring some comments if you'd like.
I just want to say thank you so much for this honor. I honestly didn't know much about what the lodge did beforehand, but upon learning all of the service that you guys partake in for our community and all that you do for Sugar Land, I really want to take the same values and bring it with me to college, and I think that's one of the things that I'm going to prioritize going forward. And yeah, thank you so much for the honor.
So obviously I didn't prepare anything as well, but first off I want to thank everybody here today for coming to not only celebrate me but everybody else who's gotten awards as well, and just be a part of the Sugar Land Masonic culture. I thank you for the history lesson of Lawrence E. Elkins, because I didn't know anything really of that level in stature prior to this event. I also want to thank my parents for sending me to Lawrence E. Elkins, as I wasn't even supposed to go to this school. In fact, I was zoned to Ridge Point in Fort Bend right before I moved from the Manville area. So I want to thank y'all for sending me to such a good school with such a diverse culture and able to get my education at such a high level. Thank you, everybody.
Guests and brothers, we've reached the conclusion of our formal program for the evening. It has been an inspiring evening. Seeing the dedication of our community builder recipient, the character of our honesty and integrity honorees, and the bright potential of our scholarship winners reminds us all why we gather here. These awards are more than just plaques and certificates. They are a testament to the fact that hard work, kindness, and personal responsibility are alive and well in our community. To our honorees, congratulations once again. We are incredibly proud of your achievements, and we thank you for the example you set for us all. To their families and friends, thank you for the support and encouragement you provide these individuals every day. And to the members of this lodge, thank you for your continued commitment to these programs that allow us to give back to the community we call home. I hope you all enjoyed the fellowship and the meal this evening. As we prepare to depart and return to our daily lives, let us carry a bit of tonight's spirit with us, remembering that we all have a role to play in building a better community. When we finish, everybody, please gather up here in the east, and we will take a large group photo, after which the different recipients can split off with whoever they'd like for photos. At this time, I ask that everyone please rise if you are able. Past Master Tunnel, please lead our benediction.
Everybody would bow their heads, please. Great Architect of the universe, as we conclude this evening's honors, we ask that you go with us into the world. May the awards presented tonight serve as a reminder of the value of a good name and the power of a dedicated heart. Watch over these students as they pursue their dreams and keep us all steadfast in our commitment to truth and charity. May we depart in peace, ever seeking to improve ourselves and our community. Amen.
So let it be.
I now declare this public meeting of Sugar Land Lodge number 1141 duly closed.